There's a suburb in San Jose where something strange is happening. Homes are selling faster than the city average. Real estate agents are whispering about it. Tech workers are quietly relocating there, and investors can't buy properties fast enough. It's not the fanciest neighborhood, and it's definitely not the most famous. But Blossom Valley has cracked the code on something every Silicon Valley resident desperately wants: exceptional value in an impossible market. Here's what the insiders know that you don't yet. Let's begin with location. Because when it comes to suburbs, the right balance between quiet and convenience can be a deciding factor when choosing a home. So, where exactly is Blossom Valley? It's tucked right between the beautiful Santa Teresa foothills and Communications Hill in South San Jose. That means it can give you all the good suburban nature right outside your door and easy access to everything else you need. I just can't help but love how central it is. You got Highway 85, 87, and 101, all nearby. All those options make getting to work so much easier. I mean, you can reach downtown San Jose in about 15 minutes, Apple and Cupertino in around 20 minutes, and even Google in Mountain View in about 25 to 30 minutes. That's a game changer for those of us who commute daily. But don't get me wrong, drives are not the only options. The VTA light rail runs right through the area. There's even a big project happening right now at Blossom Hill Station that's looking to add new housing, shops, and public spaces. And it's not a future project either. Construction is already underway, so getting around without a car is going to get even easier in the next few years. Here's the deal. Rush hour usually hits from about 6:45 to 9:30 in the morning and 3:30 to 7 in the evening. The good news is that Blossom Valley means you might miss the worst of it. Commute times are reasonable here, although nothing beats a company that lets you work flexible hours, in my opinion. And that's not to mention all the things you can do right here in Blossom Valley. We'll talk all about them later, but for now, let's talk about one of the major reasons for this area's price point. Did you know people in Blossom Valley are more educated than the national average? And not just by a little margin either. About 16% of folks living in Blossom Valley have master's degrees or higher. That's compared to 14% nationally. And 27% have bachelor's degrees versus 21%. And then another 30% have a college or associate's degree. But I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with my kids' education? Well, the numbers are impressive when it comes to schools too. And you know what? I talk to home buyers just like you every week, and they're always shocked when I tell them about neighborhoods like this. Most people don't realize there are still pockets of value in Silicon Valley. They just don't know where to look. That's exactly why I curate these neighborhood deep dives. If you want to discover more hidden gems before they become the next hot spot, hit that subscribe button right now. Because while everyone else is reading outdated blog posts, you'll have an inside track on which San Jose neighborhoods are about to explode in value. Schools are a huge reason why families love Blossom Valley. Santa Teresa High School has been climbing up in the state rankings lately. They've got great programs in STEM, arts, and sports. Their graduation rate is higher than the state average, and they send a bunch of students to top universities each year. Sakamoto Elementary is another standout. Parents are super involved in the PTA there, and the teachers use some creative teaching methods. You also got other options like Terrell Elementary, Herman Intermediate, Oak Ridge Elementary, Taylor Elementary, Frost Elementary, and something called the Indigo program. That's a special K-8 program focused on individual learning styles. So no matter what kind of education you're looking for, there's something to fit every kid's needs. And the whole community seems to support education. School events are packed, and that community involvement creates a very invested atmosphere that makes the entire area better for everyone. Speaking of benefiting everyone, even if you don't have children, living in the area with good schools helps your property value stay strong. It's one of those things that's always in demand no matter what the market is doing. Now, all this doesn't mean much if the money doesn't add up. So although we will continue covering recreation, lifestyle, and the biggest reasons people are moving to Blossom Valley, what we really need to cover now is real estate. Redfin recently classified Blossom Valley as most competitive in their 2025 report, But what does that mean? To explain that, we need to go over the numbers. Right now, the median home value in Blossom Valley is about $1.5 million. That's up 5.8% from just a year ago, according to Zillow.com. And that growth isn't just a random spike. It's outpacing many other San Jose neighborhoods. It's a good increase that shows potential for the future. That said, this also means buying here is difficult. Most homes get multiple offers. Buyers often waive contingency to make their offers more attractive. Properties typically sell for about 5% above the asking price, and they're only on the market for about 12 days on average, and they have gone even faster. The most desirable properties, those with great locations or special features, can go for 11 to 12% above asking price and get snapped up in as little as a week. It all moves fast, and if you're looking to buy here, you need to be ready to do the same. But just because it's competitive, that doesn't mean it's impossible or rewarding. In fact, it can be incredibly rewarding. One of the best things about the place is the variety of housing you can find. Unlike some neighborhoods that feel like carbon copies, Blossom Valley has real diversity in its homes. You'll find single-family houses from the 1960s and 70s with nice big yards, perfect if you have kids who need space to play or if you love gardening. There are also newer townhomes with modern designs and amenities. And many homes have been updated inside while keeping their original character on the outside, making them super convenient. Because of that variety, prices vary quite a bit depending on what type of home you're looking for, too. Single-family homes average just under $1.5 million, while condos and townhomes are around $710,000. That range means there are options for different budgets, which isn't something easy to find in Silicon Valley. Not only that, a big reason why people are flocking to this area is the prices. They are a better value when compared to San Jose as a whole. Basically, you get more house for your money in Blossom Valley, plus all the neighborhood perks we're talking about in this video. And then there's the Blossom Hill Station transit-oriented development project we mentioned earlier. This project will bring new housing options, including both market rate and affordable units. So, more options on top of everything else. Naturally, with such high costs, what we need to talk about is money. The economic profile of Blossom Valley helps explain why the housing market stays so strong even when other areas see ups and downs. And it can also help you in your decision. So here's the deal with income in Blossom Valley. According to niche.com, the median household income is about $144,890. That's quite a bit higher than the national average. Breaking it down further, about 45% of household earns $150,000 or more each year, and another 32% make between $75,000 and $149,000. These numbers show a solid middle and upper middle class community. About 86% of these salaries come from white-collar jobs, while other 14% work in blue-collar positions. This mix of professionals helps keep the neighborhood stable and growing. And those numbers are all very nice, but what do they mean to someone buying here? First, it tells them this is a neighborhood that tends to weather economic storms pretty well. Areas with lots of highly skilled professionals usually maintain their value better during downturns. That means more stable property values and community services. And as Silicon Valley's tech industry continues to grow, especially with all the excitement around AI and data science, many tech professionals are choosing Blossom Valley. This is because it strikes that sweet spot between being affordable, well, relatively speaking, affordable as far as Silicon Valley goes, and being close to major companies. The location makes it easy to get to employers like Apple, Google, Adobe, and Netflix. That's a huge plus for work-life balance, unless you really like driving in rush hour. At the same time, while tech is definitely a big driver, you'll also find healthcare professionals, educators, financial experts, and entrepreneurs living in the neighborhood. This mix means the area isn't dependent on any one industry or company, which adds another layer of stability. Local businesses are thriving too. New restaurants, specialty shops, and service providers keep opening, but we're going to talk about that in a bit. For now, no analysis of the area would be complete without going over how much it costs to live here. So you might have guessed, it's not cheap, but that's not the entire story. The cost of living here is about 98% higher than the national average, but 5% lower than the San Jose average. Housing costs drive this number up. They scored 389 on the cost index compared to the national baseline of 100. This means housing costs are nearly 289% higher than the national baselines and aligns Blossom Valley with the high median home prices typical of Silicon Valley. And when it comes to day-to-day expenses, those are higher too. Groceries run about 15% above the national average. Healthcare costs about 23% more, and transportation is roughly 30% higher. These numbers might make you think twice, so let's put them in context. Where this all starts looking good is when you look at Silicon Valley as a whole. When you compare Blossom to other desirable areas in the valley, it offers better value. And not everything costs more here. Many of the things that make life enjoyable, hiking in nearby parks, community events, and local attractions are free or low cost. The weather is also a money saver. The mild climate means you are not cranking the heat in winter or blasting AC all summer, which helps keep utility bills lower than in many other parts of the country. For families with kids, the excellent public schools represent huge value, like we talked about before. And then there's transportation. Being close to major employers and having public transit options means some households can get by with fewer cars than they might need in more distant suburbs. One less car payment, insurance bill, and maintenance schedule can save you thousands each year. So the bottom line is that yes, Blossom Valley is an expensive place to live in America, but it is a more affordable place than other neighborhoods in Silicon Valley and can provide you with better value for the money. One thing I absolutely love about this neighborhood is all the outdoor options. If you enjoy nature and being active, you'll love it too. There are some amazing parks and trails right at your doorstep. Almaden Quicksilver County Park, Santa Teresa County Park, and Marshall Cottle Park are all nearby. And I'm not just naming a couple of little neighborhood parks. These are huge outdoor spaces with miles of trails for hiking and biking, picnic areas, and gorgeous views. Just make sure to bring your camera. If I had to recommend just one, that would be Santa Teresa County Park, which is a local favorite. It covers over 1,600 acres and has trails for all levels from easy walks to more challenging hikes. There's even a historic ranch inside the park with exhibits about the area's history, which is pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing. Of course, those smaller community parks still exist here also. Places such as Comanche Park, Quay Park, Cahalan Park, and Edenville Garden Park. These have playgrounds, sports fields, basketball courts, and plenty of green space. They're great spots to meet neighbors, let kids play, or just relax. If you're more into organized recreation, however, check out the Rancho Santa Teresa Swim and Racquet Club. They've got swimming pools, tennis courts, and fitness facilities. Golf fans will appreciate Boulder Ridge Golf Club nearby with its challenging 18-hole course and amazing hill views. Now let's talk shopping and dining, because that's important too. Shopping first. Westfield Oak Ridge Mall is the main shopping center, and it's a good one. It has over 200 stores from big retailers to specialty shops, plus a food court and restaurants. They've recently done some renovations to making the shopping experience even better, adding more dining options and updating the facilities. There's also Almaden Plaza, another popular shopping center with a mix of stores, services, and restaurants. It has the largest Costco in San Jose, which is super convenient for stocking up. And let me tell you, between these two centers, you can find pretty much anything you need without having to go far from home. But the food scene here is also super exciting. You can find all kinds of cuisines, Vietnamese, Mexican, Italian, American, you name it. There are family-owned places that have been around for years, plus newer restaurants bringing fresh ideas to the area. What makes Blossom Valley special though is the community feel. Throughout the year, some events bring people together. The 4th of July Firework Festival is always a big hit. The annual Art and Wine Festival showcased local artists and wineries. And the Water Lantern Festival, where people launch glowing lanterns onto the water, has become a beloved tradition. You'll have to check if these are confirmed for this year though. But events can be messy, so it's a good thing the Blossom Valley Neighborhood Association does a great job organizing community cleanups, safety initiatives, and social events. They help maintain the neighborhood's quality of life and build connections between newer and longtime residents. I know how hard it can be to move to a new area, so having a community this involved is really something everyone can appreciate. So what's the bottom line? Let's put all the pieces together. First, location. Blossom Valley is close enough to Silicon Valley job centers without being in the most expensive zones. So Silicon Valley at a discount and with good commute times. Second, the schools are excellent. With above average education levels and solid school options, good schools save parents thousands that they might just otherwise spend on private education. And let's be honest, when families are looking for a neighborhood, school quality is usually at the top of their list. The variety of housing options means there's something for different budgets and lifestyles. Whether you're looking for your first condo or a family home with a yard, you can find it here. So the diversity creates a neighborhood where people at different life stages can find their perfect spot. The neighborhood has this busy yet friendly quality that really helps create a sense of belonging. And fifth or sixth, I don't know at this point, there's a development happening around Blossom Hill Station, and I'm bringing it up to show not where Blossom Valley is, but where it's going. This could be a great option for those not in a rush to move. Add to that the parks, shopping, and events, and you can see how, when you combine all of these factors, Blossom Valley has become such a sought-after spot. It gets you all the great schools, a convenient location, a strong community, and beautiful surroundings for a reasonable price. So what does all of this mean for you? Look, I talk to home buyers just like you every week, and here's what I tell them about Blossom Valley. It's that rare Silicon Valley neighborhood that checks all the boxes. If you're ready to make your move to Blossom Valley, or you're still exploring your options across Silicon Valley, I'd love to be your guide through this journey. I help families and professionals just like you find their perfect neighborhood every single week, and I know firsthand how overwhelming this market can feel. Send me an email at amanda@amandavang.com and tell me a bit about what you're looking for. But before you go, here's something you need to know. Blossom Valley is just one piece of the San Jose puzzle, and while it's amazing for many buyers, it might not be your perfect match. That's exactly why I ranked every single San Jose neighborhood from worst to best, with some of the results shocking, even me. Click right here to watch my complete San Jose neighborhood rankings, because knowing where not to buy is just as important as finding where you should. See you there.